sure how to use this. Hey, folks! Remember me? Well, I just got back in time for the dog days of summer, but they're not just about sweltering heat anymore. Now they're about chilling out, calming down, and keeping your four-legged friends feeling their best. From long car trips to thunderstorm stress and aging stiff joints. Sunset Lake Sabadell has pet products to help support your furry friends' mood, comfort, and mobility. Now through August 5th, you can save 30% off on Sunset Lake's pet products with the code DOGDAYS26. All one word. DOGDAYS26. DOGDAYS26. I did that right?
Good job.
Folks.
What is it again?
Dog Days 26. Your pet's going to love this. Take a little dropper, put a little bit in their mouth. They chill out. My girlfriend's puppies get a little bit more mellow when they get some of this Sabadell. Whether you have a nervous fur baby or a regal old pal at home, now is the perfect time to try Sabadell. Visit sunsetlakesabadell.com. Use the coupon code DOGDAYS26 and save 30% on all Sabadell pet products. The sale ends August 5th at midnight Eastern Time. See their site for additional terms and restrictions. And now, time for the show.
The Majority Report with Sam Seder, where every day's Casual Friday. That means Monday is Casual Monday, Tuesday, Casual Tuesday, Wednesday, Casual Hump Day, Thursday, Casual Thurs, that's what we call it, and Friday, Casual Shabbat. The Majority Report with Sam Seder.
It is Friday, July 31st, 2026. My name is Sam Seder. This is the 5-time award-winning Majority Report. We are broadcasting live steps from the industrially ravaged Gowanus Canal in the heartland of America, downtown Brooklyn, USA. On the program today, David Dayen, executive editor of the American Prospect, co-host of the Organized Money podcast with Matt Stoller. Also on the program today, Hamas agrees to a multi-phase disarmament plan. More on that later. Trump says Israel better go along with it or I'll do nothing. Meanwhile, Todd Blanche nomination on its last legs. 60,000 or near 60,000 people cross into Spanish enclave on the tip of Morocco. Chevron Exxon earnings through the roof as Iran launches strikes against U.S. targets in Kuwait. New York State sues Kalshi for being an illegal gambling site. Bernie Moreno's daughter files yet another restraining order against Republican Congressman Max Miller. Mandela Barnes drops out of the Wisconsin governor race. DHS, what is this? I can't even read this. DHS notice on Haitian temporary protected status revocation causes massive layoffs at airports, healthcare facilities, and schools. All this and more on today's Majority Report.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to myself.
To yourself, yes.
Yes. Well, welcome, folks.
Very smooth.
Sam Seder here with Emma Vigland.
Yes.
I am back. I am alive.
Yes.
This is not an AI replica of myself.
You have recovered.
I have all my fingers, as you can see.
You've recovered from your plastic surgery.
I've recovered from my plastic surgery.
So many different procedures.
installed.
Yep.
That
That is grandma.
Oh, was that one of the theories?
No, you're gonna have to be reintroduced to
There's
what
a lot of new lore.
might be the greatest sound drop that or be introduced for the first time. That might be the greatest sound drop that Matt has come up with.
Mom
at this
Donnie was
point.
trying to erase Little Italy while you were gone.
Yes,
Of course.
And
The Free Press interviewed some people in Little
the
Italy.
people that might live in Jersey but still like to go to Little Italy are not going to stand for it.
Exactly.
But there wasn't any. I mean, there was rumors that maybe I was going to get a full hair replacement in Turkey, and that's what it took me a month for the scars to heal.
Well, I mean, you've been very convincing with that wig for so long,
Yep.
and it's some time for a more permanent solution.
Yep. Folks are asking if I had a calf reduction surgery.
No, suddenly you're 6'5", though.
Yeah. No, I had my spine elongated. Just briefly, I was some time ago. I was requested to audition for a show and a TV show, and I figured, on a lark, I would do it occasionally. I maybe go on one audition every 18 months or something like that.
Right.
As some of you know, I used to do a little acting. And I got it. I thought the part was going to be, I thought the shoot was going to be a little shorter than it was. I can't say what the show is because I actually had to sign an NDA. So because I guess they have the timing in which, but it comes out, I think it comes out in next April. And just one episode. But I got a chance to work with some really great actors in a beautiful location. It's a show that I had seen. One season had come out. And I really enjoyed it, we'll talk more about it. I had said with the cat. Why you look like you're about to
No, I'm just smiling. Why are you so uncomfortable with me showing joy?
Just not this whole thing with the microphone. It's all very confusing. Look, as an actor,
Oh God!
I just I'm more sensitive to my surroundings now, and so.
So everyone has to coddle you.
When I entered in, no, it's not White Lotus. It's not White Lotus. That's 3 seasons. When I came in today, I blared Back in Black.
You did.
As I
heard
came
it coming
through
down the hallway.
Really?
just for the
From
sake
your
of,
phone?
Yeah, for Brian. And of course, I missed the big interview yesterday. And I
Well,
saw
yeah.
that it went very, very well.
Yes, I thought it went well.
I found it really interesting. The stuff about the Maha stuff I did not anticipate that, and it was very interesting to see.
Yes.
Who knows if she's going to run for president? We're speaking of AOC, of course, or Senate, but I suspect it's going to be one of those two things. But regardless of what she runs for, she's still a very prominent voice in terms of setting the narrative for the Democratic Party. We saw what Mom Donnie did to affordability, and it became the watchword. And the idea that tying in both corruption and corporate malfeasance and just corporate power as a way of undermining the Maha element of the coalition. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting to get a peek under the hood, I guess, and how, we've talked about how she's been strategic, but to get to ask her about the substance of that strategy was really great.
And I also heard reports that both you guys, both Matt and Brian, wore collared shirts.
They did.
I put on my court shirt.
And,
Exactly.
And Matt even wore his best gym shorts.
Yes, the dress gym shorts.
First of all, they're khaki shorts, they're not gym shorts. But the polo I did wear was athleisure, so.
Yeah, very nice.
Good.
That's good. I'm glad to hear. And both you guys, I heard you came in with your hair combed. It was really.
It was impressive.
Yeah. Okay.
Moving on. Well, what I was laughing about is that once this show comes out, the meme potential is going to be so good, and I can't wait for the audience to see.
That's right. And just a tiny clue, and I will not, if you guess it, I'm still not going to say anything, but the idea that Lindsey Graham passed away unexpectedly while I was on this job is
extra suspicious.
Extra suspicious. It's going to fuel the
Heated rivalry. You said second season.
Brian.
That is perfect.
Brian, the NDA.
That's one way to go with that. That's one way to go with that. But when the when the episode comes out of the closet, we will have all of the cast on, and
Now that is grandma.
Something. Oh man.
oh yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, that's what that sound drop is.
Oh right,
That is grandma.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Now it all makes sense.
And that is grandpa.
all right, well, thanks.
Consider you to be my mayor.
On Tuesday of next week, we will be doing coverage of the Michigan primaries. There's one other state I can't remember at the moment. I'm sorry, I've been out of town for a bit.
I have it up here on the calendar. There's a few other states.
Yes.
It's Kansas, Missouri, Michigan, Virginia, Washington. But Missouri and Michigan have races that we're watching pretty
Yeah.
closely.
We'll be doing coverage at the very least that day. We may end up actually doing the entire show later in the day. We've got to check on when they are fixing the air conditioning, which is perfectly timed
Fingers
for the
crossed.
end of. I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
Nevertheless, this is a big race. It has taken on even more import as it has become sort of the test as to whether the sort of reinvigorated progressive movement, driven largely by the DSA successes in New York and other places around the country. Now, Abdul Al-Sayed is not DSA, but he is associated with the progressive movement, and shares many.
Bernie endorsed him early on.
Bernie endorsed him early on, and
Wrote the book on Medicare for All.
and
Yeah.
literally wrote the book on Medicare for All. And so this race is going to be important as a bellwether as to what's happening with the Democratic Party. There have been tens of millions of dollars dumped into this race literally in the past month. I mean,
$60 million in outside spending on Haley Stevens' behalf. It's nuts. And they're trying to make an example out of Abdullah Sayed. That's what the Israel lobby and the AI and crypto lobbies are trying to do.
and not just it cuts both ways. They also know that, I mean, it's not just that they want to make sure that he's defeated. They also know the implications are dire if he wins. Because, and particularly now with the $60 million, because if $60 million cannot win you a race in Michigan as a sitting congresswoman running for the Senate, when Mallory McMurrow, who ostensibly was going to be the sort of like neither fish nor fowl candidate, she drops out ostensibly to help Haley Stevens. I mean, that was her thinking.
Yeah.
And you have the entire apparatus of the Democratic establishment behind you.
Clyburn and Whitmer endorsed.
You
Yeah.
have fake ads about Obama endorsing you. If all that plus $60 million doesn't win, it says a couple of things. Generically speaking, it's saying that the candidate, the establishment candidate again, was a total flop. Janet Mills 2.0. And they made a mistake in not backing Mallory McMurrow and still desperately clinging on to Haley Stevens. But it also says, like, if $60 million can't beat Abdul Al-Sayed in Michigan, like, what can $60 million do? You know, we saw the failure of money in the New York City mayoral race. We saw the failure of Janet Mills in Maine.
I mean, and this has been also kind of the theme of Trump 2.0. Just to kick it off, there was record spending by Elon Musk, who's renewing his super PAC for this election cycle. We just headlined that yesterday. And that was a negative in that race.
Yep.
And he failed spectacularly. That's been the story of Trump 2.0 in many ways.
Here is Abdul El-Sayed calling Haley Stevens one of the least capable candidates in America. Hard to argue. I mean,
But that's a little sexist to say anything negative about your opponent. I mean, she's a woman after all.
well, also, we all also understand the code there. Least capable?
Right.
I mean, most Jewish? Let's play this clip.
She's not, but you know what he or she
You know,
means.
she's not Jewish, but you know what, and you know what that means.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You know, when AIPAC watches this, come for me. See what happens. Come for me. Like, I know you keep coming, but like, you picked literally the least capable candidate in America, right? And then Chuck Schumer doubles down, and then AIPAC doubles down, and part of me is like, okay, look, if you think you can beat money out of politics, money in your pocket, Medicare for all, come. But I'll tell you what people don't want. They don't want money in a foreign government. They want money here.
It's a good point. And of course, Haley Stevens responded, and of course, it's quite clear. I mean, I think you can hear when he says, we want Medicare for all, or we want higher taxes on millionaires, we want money out of politics. We all know who he's blaming.
Right.
Folks like me,
Exactly.
Jewish people. Here's Haley Stevens, just to make it clear. And what I like about this tweet from Haley Stevens, when she goes full racist here, is goes full racist.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is not like, you don't have to read between the lines here. Go ahead. Oh, she writes, Abdul, we were both on the ballot in 2018. I was capable of winning my competitive primary and general election. You lost. You lost by, incidentally, for those of you who are not aware, 2018 was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So let me just rephrase this. Abdul, 8 years ago, when we were both on the ballot in 2018, I was capable of winning my competitive primary and general election. You lost. You lost by over 20 points to Gretchen Whitmer, and you will lose to Mike Rogers by talking like this. Everyone in America understands you want to blame all of your problems on Jewish Americans.
I don't understand that.
No, I'm not understanding that at all.
You know what? Not only does everyone in America not understand, I don't even understand this sentence. Put this back up. Like, you want to blame all of your problems on Jewish Americans. Like, is he saying like he missed his legs day in the gym because of the Jews? Like, what does he go? I don't understand. All his problems are on Jewish Americans?
It seems like she's conflating Jewish Americans with AIPAC,
That's
which
exactly
seems like a
what
bit of a
she's-
problem.
It seems to be what she's doing, yeah.
But also, all his problems? He's up by 15 points right now
knock on
in the
wood.
polls. I mean, we'll see. Who knows?
Yes.
Who knows? But what does that even mean?
I mean, she's also like trying to do this thing like I am capable of winning and you are not. Now, this is also part of what AOC said to me yesterday. People don't have the trust that the establishment centrist winners can't even win anymore because Trump just won for a second time, and they don't have the credibility to win elections. So she's quadrupling down on something that used to be a strength for a centrist like her, but is not a strength anymore.
10 years on from 2016, what if you win the primary but lose to the Republicans is a harder thing for the establishment to sell when they have repeatedly won the primaries and lost to the Republicans.
Exactly.
Yes, and I would add to that, if you can't beat your primary opponent with $60 million, how many millions of dollars do you need to defeat the Republican? And why do you anticipate an organization like AIPAC, which is largely funded by Republican donors, is going to give you that money in the general election?
Well, that's what Abdul is saying in that clip. It's shortened, but it's a continuation of the argument he was also making at the debate. He calls it a $60 million crutch. essentially saying that he's flipped the narrative to say that that amount of outside spending by corporate interests actually is indicative of your weakness.
100%.
And so that's what he's saying in that clip. And as she clutches her pearls and says he's blaming all Jewish Americans.
And to be clear, if anybody, I mean, if we had somebody on this program a year ago who said Haley Stevens is going to need $60 million in outside spending to beat Abdul El Sayed, people would laugh at anybody who implied she's not going to need $60 million. And if she doesn't get $60 million, this guy's going to be in the dust.
Right.
I mean, it is stunning. And and at one point, when we look back on this era of these primaries, we're going to see that something has fundamentally changed, not just in the context of the electorate, but in what it takes to win a primary, because the money is, even if she somehow wins Tuesday night, the money to vote ratio is just completely out of whack.
Right.
But I will continue to read. But Buddy, let me be very clear. Now, I sort of feel like, I mean, it's weird that she didn't capitalize the B. Will you go there? I mean, I don't know what she's saying, but this seems to me to be some type of slight. Some type of like very, that's coded language when you don't capitalize the B. It's like, I'm not saying it's anti-Semitism, but let me be very clear. I will lower the cost of groceries, ban stock trading for elected officials. Oh, I don't think
All
she
by
realized.
herself.
I think she means I will support these things. Stop Trump's abuses of power and protect Michigan manufacturing. And you'll just be a celebrity.
That's my favorite.
Why? Well, that is what they attacked Obama for.
Sam, I played the ad of McCain. and
Okay.
Literally, damn it.
And celebrity
Hive
whining
mind.
and writing books to get even richer.
Yeah.
You're part of the complainer class,
That's amazing.
looking for their next book or podcast deal.
Can you imagine if he said to his female opponent, "You're part of the
Part
complainer
of the whiner class.
Yeah.
Part of the nagging
Yeah.
class.
Shut up, you dumb nag.
Bro. First of all,
Should have been bruh.
that's the
B-R-U-H.
thing. She's trying to be hip, but she doesn't realize bro is like,
Bruh.
that's like 15 years ago. It should be B-R-U-H.
Bruh.
You know how I know this?
Your son.
My daughter.
She does like using bro a lot.
Oh, no, it's like, hey, what's this? Why do you need an extra $40 for food? I gave you money for food at the beginning of the month. Bruh. That's
Have
it.
you
That's
seen the
all I
Strait
get.
of Hormuz, bro?
Yeah, bruh. Exactly. Bruh, do you see the cost of gas? Honestly, I've gotten that too. I just want to work for Michigan. Well,
But
I
she
think there's going to be many opportunities for her to get a state job. Maybe become a substitute teacher. Maybe
Join
become.
Second City and flop around the stage.
That's in Illinois, dude.
Chicago, right?
Well, she's not gonna have a job.
Yeah.
She can't relocate, go work.
Okay, she wants to work for Michigan, bruh.
Bruh. She wants to work. She's a workhorse, not a show horse.
But honestly, this whole thing about blaming it on Jewish Americans is just, I cannot tell you, and this has been going on for multiple years now, where Gentiles are getting offended on behalf of Jews in a way that is, grotesque.
Yes. Despite seeing Israel in her dreams, Haley Stevens is not a Jewish American herself.
And here's the other thing: is that like we see this in New York all the time, where there's such a desperation to foment anger against Mamdani, and we see the same sort of playbook with Abdul El Sayed. I'm trying to think about like what it would be that would in some way make them both susceptible, at least in the minds of these people, to these attacks. And the fascinating thing to me about it is it stopped working. I don't know if it was 10 months ago or 15 months ago or 18 months ago, but it completely doesn't work. And it actually, I'm convinced, has the opposite effect.
They've lost the argument, but the money wants them to argue one way, and they're blaring out a losing message. That's all.
I mean, it is the ultimate in beating of a dead horse. And I don't mean that in the way to disparage Jews.
Or to disparage her, the workhorse,
Oh,
not
right,
the show
exactly.
horse.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Stop joking about beating up women.
I know how misogynist that sounds.
Your anti-Sintarism.
It's beating a dead filly. Is that you would know, right?
Yes,
Is that a
yes, the
female
filly,
horse?
it's a
Yeah,
female
okay.
horse, yeah.
Why? Because all the time he spent at the tracks.
You would know.
100%.
Are you kidding?
You degenerate.
R.I.P. the aqueduct. That broke my heart when that closed.
Brian's
Best
on
place in Brooklyn.
off-track betting website right now as he's like, hey, we got to go to break because the third race that in Saratoga is going, and I got to get a bet in.
I love how this is taking the heat off me, by the way, and my gambling.
Folks, in a moment, we'll be talking to David Dayen, executive editor of the American Prospect and co-host of the Organized Money podcast. But first, a word from our sponsor, which would be Nutrafol. I was on set last week, and they have hair and makeup people. And the hair guy said, your hair is super thick and healthy. He asked me if I was taking one of those drugs. And I was like, no, dude. Nutrafol. He was like, that's good, because he says drugs are not bad for you. He was also a guy like who was telling me like all sorts of other sort of like
Wellness stuff
and what he takes. And he is the guy is like 6 inches shorter than me, and he used to bench press 500 pounds, which is crazy. But back to my hair. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand. It's used by over 1.5 million people. I've been using it for years now, and I see new growth. And my hair health is excellent. Nutrafol has formulas built for men at different life stages. Nutrafol for guys 18 to 49, and the new Nutrafol Men 50 plus. That would be my category, which is the first product of its kind specifically made for men over 50. I don't even want to know what it is that I'm lacking, but I have a feeling it doesn't matter. Address the key root causes of thinning wherever you are in life. Grow visibly thicker, fuller hair in 3 to 6 months. The great thing about Nutrafol is that it tests the final product, like the formulation, not the separate. It doesn't take a series of tests of the different ingredients. It tests the final product, and something like 80% of people who take it for 3 to 6 months see a visible difference. Start Nutrafol today. Make the hat optional. Visit Nutrafol.com. Enter promo code TMR10 for $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping. Find out why Nutrafol is the best-selling hair growth supplement brand at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code TMR10. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code TMR10. Quick break. We'll be right back with David Dayen. We are back. Sam Seder, Emma Vigland on the Majority Report. It's a pleasure to welcome back to the program David Dayen. Of course, he is the executive editor of the American Prospect and co-host of the Organized Money podcast with Matt Stoller. David Dayen, welcome back.
Thank you. I heard you were away. I was generating an entire pitch to Emma on why she needs to just get out of here.
Yes.
I'd still like to hear it.
I mean, this guy's not talented. Come on.
But it's
Look-
a
look
tougher
at this
pitch
guy.
to make when I'm not here. It's much easier to make it while I'm here.
Well, there is a proof of concept when you're here.
Right.
Sure.
Exactly.
Right. Meaning he's more likely to be agitating me in the current moment than when he's away.
Exactly.
Yes.
The most compelling reason for her to be here is when I'm not here, of course.
Right.
All right.
We'll give it up. We'll
That was a nice
we'll work
try.
on it later.
That was a
I'll
nice
I'll
try.
call you later.
All right.
Great.
I want to go. I want to talk to you about a couple of pieces that you've written over the past week. I mean, obviously we've had some stuff in the news this week, but there's sort of like largely everything is sort of frozen in amber. It seems like this week. We have re-engaged in Iran, and Todd Blanche is just going to stay on as acting AG, it appears. But you wrote a piece about a franchisee called Bath Tune-Up, which was a remodeling franchise. We interviewed Brian Calici on Chains of Command about the franchises, I don't know, several months ago. And so this caught my eye. Tell us the story, because it's indicative of another problem that we have in our economy.
Well, something we've seen ever since the pandemic is that people want to be their own boss. Get it, Emma? So people want to be their own boss. The actual rates of business formation have skyrocketed since 2020. I think people realized they feel better relying on themselves than anybody else in this economy, and we've seen this really take off. And one of the sort of more convenient ways to engage in that entrepreneurship is by purchasing a franchise. And franchises are everything from the McDonald's to these smaller franchises that maybe people don't know a lot about. The one you referenced, Kitchen Tune-Up and Bath Tune-Up, is a franchise that's been around. I think the Kitchen Tune-Up side has been around since the 80s. And now they're part of a larger conglomerate called Home Franchise Concepts, which has 8 or 9 brands, including maid services and dog grooming, and also this remodeling thing. And the issue is that, as you talked about with Brian Calici, the regulatory regime for franchising is really just disclosure. There is no real protection for a franchisee when they buy a franchise other than a piece of paper that says, here's how the business works. And if there are violations that are, at odds with that piece of paper, then, there's a case to be made. However, what this means is that if the franchise tells you in fine print how they're going to screw you, they can screw you, right? And frequently they do. When I looked into this particular thing, when I talked to people, apparently 54 franchisees of this particular company have filed complaints to the FTC about violations of that disclosure rule. But what they're being subjected to it goes far beyond a lack of disclosure. They are being asked to give away kind of their life savings to purchase this business, and all of the promises that are made to them about how easy this business is, how it's easy to make money, how it's a turnkey operation, none of them are true. They end up basically paying tons of junk fees to this franchise operator, the parent company. They're told that they're going to get better purchasing power. This is why you hook up with a franchise, because you can get the supplies much cheaper from us than if you go independent. Turns out that's not true. They're paying more for these supplies and materials. They're spending all this money on advertising funds and these marketing deals that are supposed to bring these leads to them. I talked to one franchisee who got 4 leads in 4 years from the National Advertising Fund. They paid $100,000 into. So $25,000 per lead. And they're forced to buy from all these vendors that have kickbacks with the franchise operator. It's basically impossible to make a profit, and you lose hundreds of thousands of dollars. In most cases, the life savings of these people who just wanted sort of that American dream to be their own boss.
I want to get to like what a regulatory regime would look like to protect people here, but this is like, you know, and this is an antitrust issue in some respects, I think, and there seems to me like, and this is a perfect example of it, of like a worldview you have to, which I think many people have, but often the pushback comes back like, well, these people knew what they were getting into. Like you say, it was written out there. There were promises, but like nothing's guaranteed in business, because this is a predatory business, right? Yeah. Like we should have, in the same way that it's like, you know, any other type of predatory business, we have protection for people, because you're talking about people who almost definitionally, they look for a franchise because they don't have the confidence, the business experience and the confidence to know how to do it from a jump. The franchise ostensibly is like, we've got this whole thing, it's turnkey for you, just got to come in and do the work. And then it turns out to be basically just a money suck. How is it we don't have laws to protect people against this, or do we, and they're just not enforced?
I'd say 2 things. Number one, even the bare bones laws around disclosure that we have, according to the many franchisees I've talked to, have been violated. The rebates are not disclosed until later. They're not told that their fees are on a what is called a per territory basis. You buy a franchise for a particular territory, and then you're told, hey, buy this second territory, you'll make even more money. And it turns out the fees double, and that's not disclosed in the franchising fee. One interesting thing that was not disclosed, you're supposed to be able to contact all current and former franchisees. That is in the law, that you're supposed to be able to do your own due diligence by asking the people who've actually been through this how it goes. And what happened was that the parent company, when a franchisee bought out, exited the business, they would change their contact number to the headquarters of the company. So there was no way to actually contact the people who lost out on this business. And that is a violation of the rules. So even the bare bones disclosure that we have, that regime, was violated in this case, according to these 54 odd franchisees. As far as what the regime should or could be, I mean, obviously, what you're talking about here, when you're told this stuff, there's truth in advertising. These are very misleading claims that are being made. These claims are being made to get Small Business Administration loans, right? So they're telling the SBA, we have an average of $2 million of sales every year, and you can expect within 3 years a profit of $900,000. These are misinterpretations to get a loan. I mean, that should be a real violation, right? And then you add the fact of these tying arrangements that get made, that it's not in the franchise documents, the disclosure documents, but you have to use their call center service. You have to use their recommendation engine. You have to use these particular, you have to use a certain amount of suppliers. These are exclusive deals that are violations under the antitrust laws if this was any other business, but because it's a franchise, and as Brian Kalachi pointed out, these the kind of ways in which franchising is regulated were changed in the 1970s. Those things that would be illegal otherwise are not. So there are a lot of things that you could do to bulk up this regime. One of the biggest would be to just give individuals a private right of action to sue, because here we go, there's an arbitration clause in all of these franchise agreements, so they can't get to court. So there's plenty of things that you can do. But what's fascinating to me is that even under the very meager terms of the current regulatory regime, these franchisees, and according to surveys that I've seen, apparently routinely are violating even those meager laws.
What are I suppose if Lena Khan was still at the FTC, we would see a different we would be hearing about, if not already, the idea that like there's talk at the FTC to regulate the franchises in a more, both to make sure that they're providing disclosure so that people can make their own assessments, but also other protections. Do you get the sense that people are talking about that for the next time that a Democratic administration that may or may not be as sort of like sensitive to antitrust as the Biden administration was?
I talked to Alvaro Bedoya, who was an FTC commissioner during Lena Khan's tenure, and he said the disclosure regime is just absolutely and totally broken, and that we need to do a big update of the franchise rules. During Khan's tenure, the FTC warned franchises about these undisclosed fees and these efforts to shield people from being able to talk to the former franchisees, and encourage franchisees to report abuses. And there was a recent case, a $17 million fine settlement against Exponential Fitness, which is like a gym, a franchise of gyms. But what I've been told is that the FTC doesn't even really collect these franchisee disclosure documents, let alone review them. And so they're kind of reliant on people coming to them. And even when people come to them, the first of these 54 complaints on this franchise came to the FTC 8 months ago. And they have not released any information on whether they've opened an investigation or done any work to that end. So I think the overall sentiment is that a regime based on disclosure, where you have to rely on the franchisees to do all the work for you, doesn't really work very well.
So this all just, is this a relatively new thing? Or why is it that we're just starting to see the first of these, of 54, in less than a year?
Yeah, I think that this is the function of, as it often is in these things, as you know, and I've reported on them for a while, you have to get one really dedicated person to start coordinating people. So there's this woman named Kay Sharaf. She's from Bloomington, Minnesota. She was a franchisee. After 4 years, her business went bust, her and her husband. She was a dentist in Yemen and came over here and was a real estate agent, and then became a franchisee, and lost all this money and decided to call other franchisees to see if this was happening to them. And there was this great, almost liberating feeling when she realized this wasn't about her, because she was constantly told by the parent company, oh, you're just not you're not working hard enough. You're not doing a good enough job. Look at everybody else. They're all doing fantastic. You should be doing better. When she actually called the other franchisees and contacted them, none of them were doing well either. And she started what is now, I believe, a 29-part YouTube series about this. And halfway through, she got a cease and desist from the company. And they said, we're going to terminate your franchise if you don't take this stuff down. She said, great. I'm losing $10,000 a month on the franchise. Please take this down. And so I think you have to have those determined people to organize. And she was the one who really got everybody together and coordinated everybody on these FTC complaints.
Feels like there should be a website, like glass ceiling or whatever, but franchise experience or something where people Glassdoor, something like that. But all right, let's also talk about the prospect is running, I guess, in celebration of Donald Trump's birthday, the 250th, 250th, in celebration of the 250th birthday. I can't tell how many people are you going to talk about, but it's basically like activists. How would you describe who you're highlighting through American history?
So, I'm probably not going to get a chance to do a tricentennial issue. So we wanted to make this one count. So for the 250th,
it's a little bleak, but I get it.
Even though we're a little late, July 4th was earlier, but we're still within the month. We did this thing called Prospect Patriots. And the idea was during this time when you sort of take a step back and look through American history, you get a lot of people imposing their own sort of vision on telling the American story. And I think it was important to us to tell the story from our perspective, that change is made when people really get together and challenge power from the bottom up. And we wanted to look at representatives of that throughout history. These aren't the 10 best people in American history. These aren't the 10 people that made the most change in American history. I don't think history actually works like that. But these are 10 people who are representative of this idea of challenging power, to taking on risks and thriving. And we did 10 profiles, but we also have 40 other people mentioned throughout these things. If you get the issue at prospect.org/subscribe, you will see sort of in the margins of these profiles that there are these other people recognized and honored. But we had a rule: no elected officials. So none of the 50 that we mentioned are elected officials. Some of them are close to power, but most of them are trying to influence power from the bottom up. And I thought it was a really interesting exercise and a learning experience, given the time that we're in now, a time of oligarchy, a time of extreme corruption, authoritarianism at the top, to understand how history reflects the changes in American life through this structure of really, people without institutional power taking it on. So that was the goal of the series.
I want to ask you who some of your favorites are. I suspect one of them is Brandeis, who was one of the early people, and he is one of my faves as well. But who best represents, if there was another era that echoes this, and I don't know that there was, but I would suspect it would be like, 1900 to 1920 or sometime around there, post Reconstruction. Who best? What the people that you write about were most prominent during that era in changing things? I mean, Brandeis was one.
Yeah. So I did the
as
piece
an attorney
on Louis. I did the piece on Louis Brandeis as an attorney, as a reformer, as an aide who basically wrote and inspired the agenda that eventually became the New Deal. What he wrote was with, Woodrow Wilson's domestic agenda, which was called the New Freedom. But much of what Brandeis was talking about there eventually gets realized during the New Deal. So, you can talk about all of these things of Brandeis and how revolutionary he was before he was a Supreme Court justice, before he actually gets on the Supreme Court. And most of the story that I wrote about him actually is about that era of his life. We also talk about, one of the profiles is Ida Tarbell. That's out today. who was a muckraking journalist who really she was instrumental in taking down Standard Oil, which was the dominant sort of the Google of its time. And it was almost like a weird revenge story because Standard Oil ruined her father. She lived in Pennsylvania, and Standard Oil bought up all these companies in not just Pennsylvania refineries, but all around the Northeast at that time. And her father was sort of caught up in that and was monetarily, financially ruined as a result. And sort of this was sort of the origin story of Ida Tarbell going back. But we also talk about obviously, if you're going to talk about power in America, you're going to talk about white supremacy. And so we have pieces on Frederick Douglass and Ida B. Wells. We have, if you got to talk about labor and that subjugation, we have pieces on A. Philip Randolph coming next week, Francis Perkins as well. We have a piece on Ferdinand Pecora, one of my favorites, coming on Monday. About his role on the Pecora Commission to understand the origins of the Great Depression and the perfidy of the Great Banking Trust. So I think it's and then we go on to the present day with people like Judy Heumann, who is one of our prospect patriots. She was a disability rights advocate and really was instrumental in getting all disability rights that exist in the United States into being. And she's a fascinating character. So we tried to really get a really strong cross-section of folks who exemplify, I think, the best sort of epitome of the spirit of America.
I can't wait to read that. And also, I got to recommend for people to read this story about these franchises. I mean, it's just the devastation wreaked on people. It's just I feel like as I was reading, I was like, there's so many stories. You get the sense there's so many different stories, versions of this story. Not necessarily this one franchisee or really just sort of like largely people getting screwed, that where everyone does feel isolated. It reminded me of like when the financial crisis hit, people lost their homes. Everybody thought it was their own fault. And it took a long time for people to understand there was something systemic. All right, one last question before you go. Mm-hmm. On the Hill, like what's your sense of where we're going in terms of all this budget stuff? I know it's far afield, but I've been out of the loop. It's quite clear the filibuster is not reform is not happening because the Republicans are particularly nervous about I think the Democrats taking over the Senate. Mitch McConnell hasn't been around much, maybe not at all. But what's your sense of like where this is headed?
Yeah, so there's not going to be filibuster reform. And I think it's not only because Democrats might take over the Senate, but a different kind of set of Democrats might take over the Senate. Like we're going to see next Tuesday, the Michigan primary, and see what Abdul Sayed is able to do. And I think that there's a sense of a more activist, a more fighting spirit from the Democrats coming up. So it's more of a real fear than kind of a paper tiger kind of fear. This isn't a bunch of Schumer Democrats anymore. So that's number one. I mean, I think what's interesting right now is what we're seeing is, so what the Senate wants to do is come up with a way to fund the government after September. So the reconciliation bill is kind of an afterthought, whether they're going to increase military spending on a party line vote. But what they want to do in this just sort of continuing resolution is actually kind of fascinating, because they want to stop this rule that the Office of Management and Budget put together that would give the Trump administration more discretion to cancel grants, particularly scientific grants, but really any kind of federal grant. And we've seen so much news over the last couple of weeks about what I would call vengeance-based budgeting,
Right.
where whether it's FEMA grants or whether it's energy grants, they're being determined based on what state is asking for the money and who would benefit. And it's a way that Donald Trump is punishing his enemies. And the Senate, on apparently a bipartisan basis, is going to put together a continuing resolution that says you can't do that anymore. And so that's really interesting. And we'll see what happens on that, because is Donald Trump going to sign that? I'm not sure. And so to the extent that there's going to be, after September 30th, in the middle of an election year, a government shutdown, it may be because Donald Trump doesn't want to follow the law as it relates to the power of the purse.
There's a lesson there in terms of being president and attacking incumbents who have primaries, who will now basically decide the fate of whatever his legislative agenda is. David Dayen, executive editor of the American Prospect. With full disclosure, I am a financial supporter of your magazine. You may be aware. I don't know if you check the email list.
Thank you very much for that $10 donation. We appreciate it.
Anytime. I mean, not necessarily on a rolling basis, but
In
no,
exchange,
it's
the
a
paper.
wonderful magazine.
It wasn't a recurring. It was
Very,
a one-time.
yeah, not a recurring. I mean, let's not get crazy. No, honestly, folks, the American Prospect does amazing work. If you want to have a sense of what policymakers are reading, very easy. You just go to prospect.org. Great stuff there. And of course, Whitney Wimbish, who does the AIM Quickie, wrote that piece on Ida Wells and many pieces. Folks, check it out.
Tarbell one, but yeah.
Tarbell, sorry.
Yeah. It's weird.
David Dayen, thanks so much for your
All
time.
right. Thanks a lot.
Thanks,
Bye.
David.
There you go, folks. Guess we'll head into the fun half.
I guess we will.
I've forgotten how to do this.
Yeah, I know. It's
I'm rusty. Very rusty.
It's not easy to notice the difference, though.
There's a slight bit of rust right around the edges. I try and maintain, even when I'm not rusty, a certain veneer of rust.
right.
That way,
Lack
if
of
people-
polish.
Exactly.
The
Exactly.
Patina podcast.
Exactly. It gives a little bit of a margin for error. That's my,
It's like a vintage feel.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically my middle name, margin for error. Mm-hmm. Folks, it's your support that makes this show possible. You can become a member at jointhemajorityreport.com. When you do, not only get the free show, free of commercial, but you also get the fun half. And, I would be remiss to not say hello to one of our producer emeritus who are in studio. Maybe hop on the mic just 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, Brendan, he's forgot how
What's
to do
up
it.
to the old listeners? Brendan produced
Yeah.
the show from like 2017 to 2021. I still have the key.
Do you really? All right. All right.
Is that how you got
You
in
can
here?
reach me on social media if you want a copy of the key.
That's
I'll
right.
be taking
Brendan will be
bits.
handing out, or if there's just stuff that you want from the office, Brendan will run down and open it up and steal stuff. So, welcome back, Brendan. It's
Thank you.
short-lived, but thanks for stopping by.
Of course, and I'll come back after the show too to say what's
Okay,
up
great.
for you.
Great. Also, folks, justcoffee.coop. On my on the shoot that I just did, there was a couple of Majority Report fans in the crew,
Very cool.
and some of whom get Just Coffee. Wow. Yeah. Justcoffee.coop. Fair trade coffee. You can get the Majority Report blend, or you can get the other types of blends, or just single origin. Justcoffee.coop. Matt, what's happening in the Matt Leck media universe?
Yeah, big show for Jacobin coming up at 3 o'clock Eastern time, right after Majority Report today. Mahmoud Khalil talking with David Griscom about his lawsuit against the Trump administration about citing Reconstruction-era Klan Act, going after the Trump administration for conspiring with private groups like the Canary Mission to suppress the speech of folks who want to criticize Israel. So really big interview, very big honor to have Mahmoud on the program.
Great guest.
Okay, we will see you in the fun half. 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 9 months from now, and I don't think it's going to be the same as it looks like in 6 months from now, and I don't know if it's necessarily going to be better 6 months from now than it is 3 months from now, but I think around 18 months out, we're going to look back and go like, wow. What? What is that going on? It's nuts. Wait a second. Hold on for a second.
The Majority Report.
Emma, welcome to the program.
Hey.
Matt.
What is up, everyone?
Nomi Key.
You did it.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon.
Bradley, you want to say hello?
Sorry to disappoint everyone. I'm just a random guy.
It's all the boys today.
Fundamentally false.
No, I'm sorry. Women's.
Stop talking for a second and let me finish.
Where is this coming from, dude?
But dude, you want to smoke this 7A?
Yes.
Hi, me? This me?
Yes.
Is this me?
Is it me?
It is you.
Is this me? Hello, is this me?
I think it is you. Who is you? No sound. Every single freaking day. What's on your mind?
Sports. We can discuss free markets and we can discuss capitalism.
I'm gonna go throw up.
Libertarians.
They're so stupid, though.
Common sense says, of course.
Gobbledygook.
We fucking nailed him.
So what's 79 plus 21?
Challenge Matt.
I'm positively quivering. I believe 96, I want to say.
857-210-501. 1/2. 3/8.
9/11, for instance.
$3,400, $1,900.
654 $3 trillion sold. It's a zero-sum game.
Actually, you're making me think less of it.
But let me say this. Poop.
Call it satire. Sam goes to satire.
On top of it all,
Yeah.
my favorite part about you is just like every day, all day, like
Yeah.
everything you do.
Without a doubt. Hey, buddy, we see you. All right, folks.
It's just the week being weeded out, obviously.
Yeah, sun's out, guns out. I don't know.
But you should know.
People just don't like to entertain ideas anymore.
I have a question. Who cares?
Our chat is enabled, folks.
I love it.
I do love that.
Look, gotta jump. Gotta be quick. I gotta jump.
I'm losing it, bro.
2 o'clock. We're already late, and the guy's being a dick. So screw him. Sent to a gulag?
Outrageous.
Like, what is wrong with you?
Love you, bye.
Love you. Bye-bye.
We are back.
We are back. Sam Seder, Emma Vigland, Majority Report.
Fun half.
Fun half. We are here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start off with
This is 5.
this video.
Or is this 6, actually? 6.
Oh, 6. Troy Jackson was on the Parnas perspective, and he admitted something which I find to be awesome, frankly.
Hilarious. One of us.
Folks don't know who Governor LePage was. Did you call it?
LePage.
LePage in Maine. I call him LePage.
I'm sure you do.
Because, I mean, let's face it, like the French Canadian, I mean, that's what's going on here. So Governor LePage.
Is this strategy?
What?
To call him Lepage?
Yeah, he's out of touch. He's an effete
Like the Colbert.
French Canadian. Yeah, exactly.
Colbert.
Oh, right. And the Besant?
My favorite part about LePage was the story of when he would have sovereign citizens come into his office, meet with them. they would advise him that he is allowed to assassinate members of the Maine state legislature if they disagree with him, because the reigning authority is the sheriffs from the counties, and somehow, like, because if they support him, he could assassinate them. And it wasn't just like a one-off.
Yes.
No. He kept inviting these people back in, and the story ultimately was that Lepage's own attorneys were telling him, dude, you can't. First off, they're wrong. Just in case you were wondering, if you have the authority as governor of Maine to assassinate the lawmakers, you don't.
Okay.
Just so that's clear. Also, you shouldn't meet with these people anymore because they're batshit crazy. And that's who Governor Lepage was. He's running for Congress. He very well may win.
He very well may win. Also, if you want to have fun, go to YouTube and listen to his voicemails to his colleagues where he is threatening to beat their asses and kill them.
If you have the authority, and that's one of your arrows in your quiver, you should use it. But it turns out that you don't have that authority. But here is Troy Jackson. He had his own way of fighting back against Lepage.
Now, as you know about any campaign, opposition research is a big part of it. And today we got a report from CNN that suggested you ran troll accounts in your past to troll Republicans online. Is that true? What's your response?
He snorted.
Well, I guess so. The thing about it is that, you know, I fight for workers. And you know, during that period, me and Governor LePage were having quite a time. And, you know, he wasn't helping workers, and I'm interested in fighting for workers.
As you know.
I love that answer.
He looks like the cat that ate the canary.
Yeah.
Grinning like that.
Meanwhile, posting anonymously online as Canadians for Lepage, Jackson frequently disparages Lepage in the comment section of news articles. Quote, "You are no more a woodsman than Lepage is a governor," Jackson wrote in one exchange on an article on the state's budget.
Stolen woodsman valor. This is the most Maine story I've ever heard in my life.
No woodsman.
No true woodsman.
What I don't even say that. I say the W word.
And Brian pointed out that Jackson has one of the oddest accents that you could ever hear, and it really is nuts. It sounds like a combination of like a Cajun Creole.
Yeah, it's like Acadian.
And
right?
But also you can hear a little bit of Michigan in there, like that. You know. And
But he's got a little bit of that goddamn Maine in there too.
Yes, it is very, very odd. He comes from way up north in Maine, and so that's pretty nuts. Here is Troy Jackson on MS Now talking about how his views on abortion have changed over the years. And I have heard from activists in Maine who are activists on specifically abortion rights, and they believe that his change, which was years ago, I guess.
He was a Republican
was
over a decade ago.
Very, very, he has the fervor of a convert. Let's put it that way.
So you had, at one point, you've had evolving views on choice. And I would love you to talk us through how they've evolved and how you've gotten to actually be pro-choice and how you've voted for LGBT rights.
Sure. You know, early on, you know, I wasn't, you know, real clear on reproductive rights. But, you know, I had a lot of conversations over time, a lot of conversations with women, doctors, community members. I mean, you know, just people that I came to trust. And it became, you know, more and more clear to me that abortion access was health care. And really that's always been, you know, people in Maine see me as a labor guy, and I am. But the reason why I really ran for the legislature is because I was upset that people in my community couldn't get health care. And so that's been a big issue for me. So when I understood, you know, it became clear that abortion access is health care, you know, it just changed for me. And, you know, over the last decade or more, you know, Planned Parenthood has had 100% record for me, endorsed me. When Susan Collins was helping overturn Roe versus Wade here in Maine, we were actually, I co-sponsored one of the most progressive reproductive rights bills in the country, fought incredibly hard for it. I made sure that low-income women had access under Maine care to abortion access. And, now, I was wrong. But I'm very proud of my record over the last decade or more of fighting for access across the state.
I mean, that's great. Also because, he is making a more positive case for abortion than even someone like Joe Biden would. Joe Biden basically would still say, I think it's icky as a Catholic, but we shouldn't do anything about making it illegal. That is somebody who is thinking about abortion and women's health care in a way that is holistic and a part of a broader worldview. So I don't think Democrats should have any problem accepting that answer, given Biden as an example, so.
That's it's a perfect answer, and it should be the answer for trans care as well. The attacks on these types of care are just the people who want to deny the state provision of health care or making sure people can have health care, nibbling at the edges. Okay, it's harder to go at people saying we shouldn't have, health care for seniors or whatever, but health care for women, healthcare for trans people, it's a lot easier for the people to deny that, unfortunately, in this country, and they're just dividing and conquering with those issues.
But what about women's sports?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
You need to send the National Guard.
Did you get I imagine you talked about Heritage Foundation's Title IX. Oh, you didn't see that?
I don't think we did.
They have it.
You did send it to me, and I think
Heritage Foundation came out with a policy position saying that Title IX is a failed experiment, and they got to go after women's sports.
Got it. Right.
Now that we no longer need women's sports as a fig leaf to attack trans people, now let's get rid of that. Well, maybe we'll touch on that later.
Should they be playing sports, really?
Huh?
Should they be playing sports?
Yeah.
Seems like a pretty...
hard to do that when you're pregnant.
It also seems like it's very confusing.
Also, if they get some muscle mass, maybe they can take on their husbands. Who knows?
That's dangerous, too.
Exactly.
It's very confusing. If you have both men and women playing sports, how will you tell what gender they are?
We don't know the rules.
How will you know?
Also, women shouldn't be allowed to convene in groups like that. Who knows what they're talking about?
Exactly.
I mean, what's going on in those locker rooms?
I feel like they're making fun of my clothes. They all get together like that. I feel like they're laughing at me.
Exactly.
Which is the worst. I cannot tolerate that.
Just makes me want to kill.
That's why we have this.
NB Laborer. Wow, is this the guy from the old Fun Half song? Not so adventurous. I don't need trans care, but I'm all for it. Clearly, it's a very real thing looking at what trans people go through to live their truth. Yeah. Cleon, thanks for coming back, Sam. While you were out, Emma has been trying to indoctrinate us by bringing on socialist communists like AOC. Sickle up economy. Thanks, Matt. Ad hominem. Is there something shockingly refreshing about a politician saying, I was wrong?
Yeah.
Right.
Galactica Nurse Boogs. People should be allowed to grow and change. Speaking about Jackson's pro-choice turnaround, very different than Plattner's reformed racist turnaround hard pass. Take notes, MR. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, let me get my notebook.
Al Conniption feels infantilizing this Demaline news host to call abortion the catch-all capital C choice. But those are their ways. I hope a new woke parts of Congress will push flatly to deliver framing as abortion than anything else. This grandpa, not sure you guys are aware, but in Michigan, people who live in the lower peninsula beneath the Mackinac Bridge are referred to as trolls. So to call Haley Stevens a troll is neither mean nor inaccurate.
Of course we're familiar with that.
Yeah, that's why we were doing it. What other reason would we have done it for?
I'm taking off a week next week to go to the Mackinac Bridge or whatever you said. I always summer there.
Crystal Flute Tran. Sam, hold yourself accountable and give us a story from your Disneyland trip once and for all. We don't forget promises.
Oh, right.
That would have been funny to
I
see
still
Sam
owe
walking
that.
around with a wand like Graham had.
Yes.
But the wand is a secret weapon. Like a Kingsman umbrella.
Yeah.
Space Lennon. Sam is a French teacher on summer break. I need you to stop. I try and only listen to bad French on contract time. Serious business. Hey, Sam, glad you're back. And now that you're back, have you seen and do you have thoughts on Van Jones pooping in the punch bowl clip? I watched a little bit. That was his promo for his Substack. And it took me about 20 seconds. Did you guys not mock that?
No.
No, I had a couple Van things on.
We
on
did
the
do
sound
some Van
sheet, but it
stuff,
felt
yeah.
like just wrong without you here. 'Cause it's like
Right.
it's kind of your white whale.
His big thing, is like he was, the Democratic Party is in danger because of
DSA.
and
Dead Gaza babies.
and people. Yeah,
Good
and then he
terms.
had there was something else that I can't remember what it was now. I think I sent it
You
to you.
did send it. You did send it.
I was like, what the F is wrong with this guy? He cannot make a point without sort of in some way making a joke at the expense of Muslim people.
Was it about Lindsey Graham dying?
There was something, I can't remember what it was.
We'll find it. Yeah.
Nevertheless, I did see some of that Van Jones thing, and this is it's just like literally watching someone sell on late night, TV. I don't know if that happens
Right.
anymore, but just a total huckster. It's amazing.
Hack, I think, is the historical term.
Yeah, but still. Let's just put up this poll about
It was Trump's White House Correspondents' Dinner, and he was talking about the bombing, about Trump bombing, and somehow it came into Iran.
Oh. Right.
Like Trump was literally bombing.
It's not. It's we're not Iran. Iran, quit bombing us, was his punchline.
It's like, dude, we killed 100 and some odd
Yeah.
kids at a girls' school. I'll tell you what is shocking is, I was not totally unplugged from the news, but I certainly was a lot less plugged in than I normally am. And so I was watching CNN, in the moments before I got to go to work or sometimes late night when I get back. We're spending tens of billions of dollars. We have who knows how many U.S. Military personnel have actually died. We have killed at least, 4,000, probably more, and certainly created terror and maybe long-term health impacts on tens, if not hundreds of thousands of more. And there's barely any news coverage of the war. There's barely any.
Yeah.
And I think part of that is because the Trump administration doesn't want the American people to realize how much of our bases have been decimated. I am happy to have no bases in those places, but of course they're going to be rebuilt and whatnot. And they certainly don't want us to see the implications of what happens when you drop bombs on people. But the idea that you're using it as a punchline, as a news commentator, I mean, it's not like it was like, oh, that's a funny joke. All right, they used it as a punchline, but that's, it reveals some satirical point.
I mean, he did it on Bill Maher's show, that Matt just referenced, where he said,
oh, yeah, the baby thing.
Dead
Yes.
Gaza baby,
Yeah,
dead
yeah,
Gaza
yeah.
baby. Yeah.
It's not real to him.
It's just, it is
depraved.
Depraved.
He said in Trump's first term on CNN that
Oh,
the
when
day
he bombed
became
Syria.
president was
Yes.
when he dropped the mother of all bombs.
Oh, that's what it was, right.
Is there anything that Van Jones has been more consistent on than his love of seeing Muslim and Arab people bombed?
It's nuts. But that's, I don't know, somehow Van Jones permeated my bubble during those weeks. In the meantime, this I found to be a really interesting poll. Right now, the generic ballot poll vacillates depending on the poll, but we're getting close to 8 points. And from what I read, a 7-point spread, if we see it in the balloting, means that the Democrats have a good shot of taking the Senate. This is, we're extrapolating here and whatnot. So,
And the races that would have to go our way, as a reminder for people, it would have to be Maine as a flip. It would have to be Texas as a flip, Alaska as well.
Well, I mean,
Ohio.
We could see Ohio go. We could see there's some talk of like Iowa and Nebraska. I mean,
Obama
independents.
just endorsed in Iowa as well.
Independents. You have a couple of independent candidates. There's a lot more pickup opportunities than anticipated, and certainly the ones that they thought that there was a chance of a flip to the Republicans, not happening at the moment. Georgia in particular, North Carolina's looking good too. Yep. So we'll see. But this poll was specific about the way that people perceive the parties. And I found this interesting. Democratic Party, party of change by 10 points right now. Now, the biggest cohort for most of these questions was neither party. So you have a very disillusioned American public, which is obviously very problematic.
Yes, I mean,
but keep this up there because I want people to look at this. Party of change: 31% for the Democratic Party, 21% for the Republicans. Every election now is a change election. Donald Trump won in 2024 because Kamala Harris, amongst other issues, obviously the Gaza stuff weighed heavy, but she was projecting stability, democracy. Well, I'm even traveling around with a legendary Republican icon, a Cheney, to make it clear to you people that we are the establishment. We are the institutions. In fact, there's not going to be any daylight between me and Joe Biden. There's going to be so little change. That is a mistake because every election now is a change election. And particularly one when you are, when it's an off-year election. Now, that 48% spells very bad news, I think, down the road for the American project when they think that neither party is going to do anything. But for a midterm election, to have the Democratic Party at 31% and the Republicans at 21%, and then the other people going like, probably doesn't matter, that's going to be helpful for the Democrats. Cares about you. 34% Democrats, 25% Republicans, again, 41% in the middle. That's a good sign. Party that fights corruption. I mean,
this is actually these two party that fights corruption and can get things done. This is the Democrats' failure on display right in front of us.
The idea that somehow the Republicans have been able to brand themselves as fighting against corruption.
They're tied statistically.
That is, all that Minnesota crap. It is all the Biden stuff. I mean, Doge. You understand that, and this is a massive failure of the Democratic Party. And it has been so for a long time. There is a belief that they need to go where the voter is, as opposed to leading the narrative. And people cannot tell how they should react very often. So you can see 46% don't even think it makes a difference. Unless they see two sides of a story. It is not enough for Donald Trump to be the most corrupt president we have ever had. The Democrats have to be out there talking about corruption in a meaningful way, but that also means that their own people have to see them as not corrupt. And when $60 million goes into an election in Michigan, people have to say, like, wait a second. What is that $60 million buying?
And if you were to ask about individual Democrats, Zoran Mamdani probably wouldn't get these figures. And if you were to ask about Trump and compare him maybe to another Democrat, he would be seen as by voters as corrupt, most likely. But this is back to the failure of not tying the Republican Party to Trump. The Republicans are as corrupt as Trump. They're two sides of the same coin, and they're working together. They enable one another, and they're just as corrupt. And that's the problem with the same way that you talk about, like how Harris ran, of exceptionalizing Trump for the third election in a row as a way to appeal to suburban Republicans.
Yeah, remember, it wasn't the Republican Party that was the problem. It was MAGA. And then it wasn't just MAGA. It was the extreme MAGA. And you had like a third adjective to distance themselves from Republicans. Get things done. This is the single most...
This is the worst part, yeah.
...paralyzed, do-nothing Congress we have ever had. The only thing they've been able to do is cut taxes. They're like, what is the Republican agenda?
Well, there's the diarrhea stuff, too.
What is the Republican agenda? Honestly, can anybody articulate it? Yet, get things done. They have a 30% rating, and Democrats have 22%. And this is where the Democrats have lost their, not just their base.
Go
Bills.
Can we just quickly put up this Pew or Gallup, graph? Because this is exactly what you're talking about here. Like, they have lost credibility, and this is the largest growing constituency in this country, is independent as a political identifier. Like,
surprise, the financial crisis.
There you go. And so, like, you can see that and look at that same CNN poll and see why that distinction is not made clear to people.
I would also note, if you look at that graph, look at where it goes from 2008 to 2010.
Yep.
And what happens to Democrats at that point?
That is Obama inspiring people with a positive vision and Democrat political party identification peaking. I mean, it's the highest point since, or at least tied with 1988, when people were much more likely to identify with one of the two political parties. Now, look at that dip, the precipitous dip.
Yep. Go back to the other one, because there is a dynamic here at the end. Can get things done. 22% say Democrats, 48% say neither party, 30% say Republicans. And then go down in party of extremism. 33% say Democrats, 24% say neither party, 3% say Republicans. We got to get that party of extremism for Democrats up.
The rookie numbers.
So that people can also assess that they get things done.
Exactly. Well, how is Haley Stevens running? I'm a workhorse who can get things done, right? So
I haven't you then.
She's literally running on the weakest possible piece of credibility, or lack thereof, rather, that the Democratic Party has. No, she's running as a candidate that says they can get things done when no one buys that Democrats can get things done. And get what done? Like, and people, that is the biggest
bipartisan infrastructure bill. Great job.
They don't, and AOC said this yesterday, the Democratic establishment has lost credibility about winning, but they have also lost credibility when it comes to governing. That's why Zoran Mamdani is like one of the most trusted Democrats in the country right now.
And I think ultimately, that's the big story. There's been a lot written about the implications of Joe Biden's of the American Rescue Act and we've talked about this, maybe not ad nauseum, not to the point of ad nauseum, but we should. 45% of child poverty was eliminated from the year 2021 to 2022. And which is an extraordinary achievement. The whole bill, the American Rescue Act, was predicated on, everything was sunsetting and predicated on the passage of Build Back Better. You've heard me say that Biden blew it by inviting in Republicans in March and April and May of 2021.
Jamal Bowman, by the way, agreed and said that he thinks that that's where the Democrats lost in 2024.
100%. And then they had Portman and Sinema come in and pitch it, and then the bills got split. And Bowman was one of the people, if I remember correctly, who voted against the bill because it split up and knew that that was disempowering it. But so you had all of these material benefits that flowed to people because of the American Rescue Act. Cobra insurance paid for, not efficient way, but it was from the recipient of insurance. If you lost your job, you didn't lose your health insurance. Extended unemployment benefits, child tax credit, which again got rid of child poverty by 50%, which is extraordinary. A whole host of things that put money in people's bank accounts. And the problem was they lost it all 2 years later. And they lost it under Joe Biden. And people don't follow this show. If the entire American population followed this show, then maybe it wouldn't have been a problem. Because people would understand why it went away. But people just knew, I lost it during when the Democrats were in power.
Yeah.
That's it. And so legislating and actually providing material benefit, if they get if they win, they're going to have to do it. Now, as in the Senate and the House, the thing they're going to have to work on is investigations and oversight and in building narratives that
blow the daycare stuff out of the water, make people forget about it.
100%.
Yeah. Well, that
gotta play offense.
Right. And then that was, again, just returning to the conversation with AOC yesterday about what the weak points are and what you can hit them on. And she seemed to think that, the Maha failures and the Epstein stuff are very fertile ground with the base of kind of voters that are more swayable.
The amount of people I
sure
heard that were hoping for some kind of actual good to come out of RFK and types of things that are allowed in American food versus not allowed in, say, Europe and none of that. In fact, we're just poisoning people. I think there is genuine feeling of betrayal in there.
No, I think it seems right to me. I would also say that another way to hit them, and that would require that the Democrats have to get unified behind this message, is that he ran on no new wars, and I'm going to fix the economy. And he started the worst war ever, and it destroyed the economy. And that's a point, too.
But we can't let Iran have a nuke.
Yes, yeah. So... Brian says 10 is related to this.
Well, the AOC, the Epstein part. This
is funny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And here's the Maha stuff. Fundamentally, what's happening with the Maha stuff, I think, is the subtext is not just about health. It is about sort of a sense of total distrust of institutions, establishment, media, doctors, science, all of it. A sense that, and sort of, I think at the next sort of layer up, not below that, is a distrust that is founded on the idea, this is the way that it presents itself in the context of medicine, is that it's just corporations who are trying to make a buck. Always. News media just trying to make a buck. Always. And that's where AOC had talked about that intervention.
Yeah.
Because that is a natural extension of many of the things that the anti-oligarchy tour and talk about.
It approaches a class consciousness and takes, or an emerging class consciousness potentially, and then redirects it towards charlatans and snake oil salesmen. I mean, that's what it does.
And yes, but you still have that anti-corporate sentiment that you can play off of.
Yeah.
And there is a conspiratorial, I mean, once, like you say, once you lose faith in all the institutions, rather than having a nuanced take on these things, which would involve a lot more work, frankly.
Fascists provide simple solutions. They always do throughout history, and a group to demonize, and it's a marginalized group usually.
And you also, then it's very easy for you to go down a conspiratorial wormhole, because suddenly all of those nuanced responses to the failure of institutions, right? Like, not every politician is a complete sellout. Not every media outlet is, providing only disinformation on purpose. There are systems that are set up largely driven by capitalism that are incentivized to do certain things in certain ways. It's all a very nuanced perspective that people can have. Or you can get the easy answer that is much more digestible, that there's a lot more conspiracy going on. And
Democrats need to identify villains to fill that vacuum.
Yes.
Like, yeah. The billionaires.
Exactly. This was pretty funny, though, because Fox News does not like to remind its viewers that Donald Trump has a bit of an Epstein problem.
Yeah, well, this question.
And we
really
should
walks
say,
into it.
The problem is significant enough for Donald Trump to want to make sure that his defense attorney, former, to be fair, Todd Blanche has not been his defense attorney since January 18th of 2025, because he's been working at the DOJ since the 20th of January.
Go talk to his
Did you see in his confirmation hearing, he said, "I am his lawyer"? It was?
Yes. Was his lawyer. Well, it was his lawyer.
It's so good.
Here's Oliver Larkin
who is running against Jared Moskowitz in Florida. This is this sleeper race.
Come on, Florida, lock in.
Come on. And Moskowitz did not... Moskowitz was not one of the 6 or 7 rotating villains on the NDAA. He's a little afraid to take that vote, and there's a reason why.
Also skipped a debate.
Mm-hmm.
And we can play number 7 after this for
and
some
And here
CNC
is
compare
Oliver
contrast.
Larkin's probably first and probably last appearance on Fox News.
What is the number that is fine with you? Is there a benchmark? Is it fine? How many children can be raped and it's fine if you're in relation to the immigration community?
Pause it for a second. Now, I don't know what the immigration community is, but I guess the theory is we should never have immigrants in the country, because some immigrants, like some in every population, commit rape. Now, if the idea is we need to get rid of rape in society, it's going to take a lot more than getting rid of immigrants.
You know, like, if there are rapists in the immigrant community, like Fox News is very keen to emphasize, you know what will help with that is sanctuary laws, which allow people to come forward regardless of their documented status and say, hey, this person might become a problem. And by going against those kind of laws, Fox News wants those people to be unsurveilled.
I will also tell you, you can get rid of a lot of rape by jailing men before they commit rape. It would just jail all the men.
Yes.
But
more of a man problem than an immigrant problem.
Yes.
Well, then there will be even more prison rape, which is also a problem that they never seem to care about, by the way.
But here is the Fox News guy trying to make it like we should have no immigrants because rape and crime exist.
Raped and it's fine if you're in relation to the immigration community.
if we're going to talk about children being raped, then we need to hold this pedophile president, Donald Trump, accountable, and all those that have been implicated by the Epstein files that the Department of Justice is still not leaking. And they've sent AIPAC after Thomas Massey for having the temerity to
Mr.
hold
Larkin,
accountable the
thank
pedophiles that are in control of our government.
Thank you. We appreciate your time very much.
Oh my God.
Easiest counterpunch in the history of counterpunching.
Totally.
Served on a platter.
And he gets impatient. That's what's funny is he's mad at himself. He's self-flagellating. I gave that to him. I blew it.
I blew it.
Yeah.
That's literally like it. It feels like Larkin was probably like 5 minutes away from being able to sort of unplug the entire satellite uplink for Fox News.
I know.
Like they were going to shut down the entire network for the day after that.
So good. So good.
It was beautiful.
If you want to do 7, that's Moskowitz. This is the guy that he's running against.
The incumbent.
So
very different Fox News appearance styles.
And I guess
It's the red carpet.
he needs an excuse though because he chickened out of the debate and Oliver Larkin had to, debate an empty podium because candidates like this that have this many problems and vote functionally as Republicans.
A man who said twice through a microphone, "I'm a DeSantis Democrat."
Exactly. Like they need to.
What?
Yes.
He identifies as a DeSantis Democrat
because of the vaccine stuff or the shutdown stuff.
Yes,
COVID
but
shutdown
they need to hide. They don't want sunlight. Like he does not want to be talking in public, and he does not want to be in a debate with Oliver Larkin on the issues in a Democratic primary. It's why my theory is that, and I think this was initially Brian's theory, is why he didn't vote for the NDAA when he normally would have, because he's one of the biggest Zionists in the Democratic Party.
Well, look, what I would like to see actually is a little tougher language coming out of the Trump administration. I'm to the right of this issue to the J.D. Vance Witkoff approach, and I agree, quite frankly, more with Senator Lindsey Graham and probably Senator Tom Cotton. Iran is the weakest they've been in a period of time. Now is not the time to appease them. Now is the time to put maximum pressure on them and make sure that we dismantle the nuclear program. Well, look, what I would like to see.
Okay.
He got his wish. That was last Sunday, and we've resumed bombing.
That's
Congrats
working
to
out
him.
well.
When we had Oliver Larkin on the show, he set up a link specifically for fundraising for his campaign for the Majority Report audience. I think he did the same thing for Hassan and that community. They went.
I'm
to
sure that was
town.
close.
But we, yeah, I can puff out my chest. But we did double the goal in terms of fundraising. But people can go to this link. Can we open up the? Yeah, Dorsey just sent it. You can go to secure.aclu.com/donate/OFC_Majority Report, although we'll just put a link down below.
That was getting a little long.
It's ridiculous. It's like when I leave my phone number on a voicemail now. People have caller ID. That's ridiculous. But
were you ever alive at a time when people didn't have caller ID?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
More 94. Yeah. I mean,
For like when she was 6.
maybe.
All those calls she was making.
Yeah.
I was
98.
My dad was really into phone etiquette training anyway. So yeah, you can go donate there for if you want to support Oliver Larkin.
There it is. We'll put that in the podcast and YouTube descriptions. Let's talk about Mike Collins. You haven't heard much about Mike Collins because he's not doing very well in Georgia. John Ossoff, the polling has John Ossoff up by maybe double digits at this point. I think it was and it's going to be interesting. If John Ossoff wins by double digits, even if he wins by single digits, but high numbers, he will, the day after you will hear, you will start seeing all of the John Ossoff is going to run for 2028 pieces.
It feels like a foregone conclusion at this point.
But here is Mike Collins. He has a little bit of a problem. Contrast this to the way that Larkin sort of avoided, which was a very disingenuous question. how are you going to deal with rape if you will allow there to be immigration in this country? Mike Collins is asked a question about his son-in-law posting white nationalist and anti-Semitic content. It is amazing how sensitive we are to anti-Semitism unless it is performed by an actual anti-Semite and white nationalist. Here's Mike Collins. He's being asked this question. Yeah.
He's outstanding in his field.
Here is... Well, that's the thing. Americans really appreciate competence.
And grass, yeah.
And if so, that's what Alfred Hitchcock always said. Like, you know, if you have a murderer, just make him good at his job and Americans will love him. And so there it is. But here is Mike Collins trying to avoid that question, and it's not going very well. Also, what a bad backdrop.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen.
I mean, honestly, I went to cover a Jill Stein rally in 2016 at some college, and that's what the setup looked like. So it's kind of pathetic.
Why do you put
These
podium,
wires in the
XLR? Why do you put the podium as if like we just this is a beautiful lawn we have here, and look at over there, a podium is growing. Let's put some microphones over there.
Podium is growing.
Here we go. Pause it for a second. So don't take it down. He hears the question about his son-in-law posting anti-Semitic and white nationalist stuff. He immediately goes to his briefing book, turns to the page. In case you get asked about this, say this. Watch.
You know, we've fully addressed that, but John Ossoff refuses to disavow these Democrat socialist movements in our country. As a matter of fact, he embraces that. You know, John Ossoff should answer for voting for men being in women's locker rooms. John Ossoff should answer. John Ossoff should answer why he voted for this massive spending bill out there that has jump-started inflation and caused prices to go up on the average Georgians out there. John Ossoff should answer for why he supported ending cash bail, why he supported the open borders, why he supported these radical anti-Israel extremists. These aren't Georgia values, y'all. That's what he needs to answer.
Pause it for a second, y'all. The anti-Israel extremists, your son-in-law is out there calling everybody a Jew boy, essentially. You know what Mike Collins is? Not a good candidate.
Yeah,
No.
what on earth, bro?
God, he invoked the Jewish Bolsheviks conspiracy theory. Oh, man.
What is it?
He says in the video he's espousing...
This is to be clear, this is Mike Collins' son-in-law.
60 million Christians that were killed by Jewish Bolsheviks in the early 1900s.
Oh,
right
Candace
before World
Owens
War II.
listener.
There you go, exactly. And don't worry, he's also super Islamophobic as well, as you are when you are a true anti-Semite.
These aren't values, Al.
Let's just hear Mike Collins wrap this up. Also, you just don't want to give people the opportunity to give you like the full body shot and just watch how
I know.
Yeah.
like
Right.
waddling back and forth. And this is
Yeah, let's go to the middle of the field so we can make sure the wind hits the mics.
exactly.
He supported ending cash bail, why he supported the open borders, why he supported these radical anti-Israel extremists. These aren't Georgia values, y'all. That's what he needs to answer for. And the people will choose to get rid of him in November. So, yes, ma'am. I'll give that young lady right there. She has a question. One last question. Listen, thank you. I appreciate y'all's time. I appreciate your coming out this
No
morning.
cut there.
Thank you very much.
Whoop! I'm exit. Honestly,
is that like a truck stop? Is that like what he's doing? Because isn't he a truck driver?
I don't understand like what campaign staff was like. Let's have the subtext of the visual communicate Mike Collins is just wandering around in the middle of the lawn. He's just completely alone, sort of just speaking to nobody, not in front of anything.
His son-in-law here, Scheer, encouraged viewers to do some digging into who writes history textbooks, while earlier claiming Jews were responsible for porn, killing JFK, the 9/11 terror attacks, and the assassination of Charlie Kirk.
Yep. He shared an infographic saying Jews control the U.S. government. He posted a series of anti-Semitic infographics blaming Jews for being responsible for, quote, every single aspect of gun control, abortion, the LGBTQ movement, and pornogaphy and hookup culture.
Yeah, but
this is sort of
John
what Haley Stevens
Ossoff
was accusing Abdul.
Also, like, I mean, basically.
But John Ossoff, is aligned with those anti-Israel extremists.
Also saying, like, that Jews are responsible for hookup culture. You're kind of making everybody like Jewish people more, if that's the case.
Jews are responsible for hookup culture?
That's what he says. I mean, sounds like they're a good time.
Wait, and pornography?
Yes.
Wow. That he genuinely is blaming Jews for everything, like Haley Stevens accuses Abdullah.
Exactly.
Yeah, what are you going to do? We did it.
Created pornography.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, this is you read that Max Miller story. He is a congressman from Ohio, and it comes out in divorce papers that he had attempted, I'm sure you've talked about this,
I don't think it was divorce papers yet. It was actually CPS was called because the child had a broken collarbone.
Was this recently?
Yes.
Oh.
So basically, his 2-year-old daughter had a broken collarbone, which prompted an Ohio investigation. And over the course of that investigation, they interviewed his wife, the daughter of Bernie Moreno, who is the senator from Ohio. And the wife then said that it would not be inconsistent with his past behavior if he broke the collarbone of this child, because there wasn't clarity about whether or not or how this girl got injured. And then the woman told investigators, the wife, that he had thrown scalding water at her, had pointed a gun at her head, among other accusations. And then the news that you're, I think, referring to now is that she's filed a restraining order.
Well, no. She had a restraining order already.
Okay, gotcha.
There had to be a second restraining order because in the course of their divorce proceedings, this guy, Max Miller, attacked the lawyer.
Oh, yes.
So the lawyer now has a restraining order. Like,
But
pretty
no arrest at any of this.
no arrests. Apparently, like we're just gonna wait until the entire sort of like Ohio district that Max Miller represents get a restraining order against this guy. We're hearing virtually nothing about it. Here's Jim Jordan struggling to defend his support of Max Miller. Now, to be fair, I want to be fair to Jim Jordan here. Jim Jordan is very good at turning the other, well, not cheek, turning the other direction.
A blind eye.
A blind eye when he sees flagrant abuse of people. He is very renowned, according to the players who were on his wrestling team at Ohio State, for ignoring their complaints that they were being groped by the team doctor. And Jim Jordan supposedly called these guys crying, please don't tell anybody, please don't tell anybody.
The Republicans were like, this is the energy we need in Congress.
They did.
Right, well, they need it. I mean, protecting pedophiles and predators is kind of the core brand proposition of the Republican Party now.
And also, again, to be even more fair, from Ohio, I think that's where Denny Hastert was from, and he was not just a guy protecting pedophiles. He was actually one himself.
And Les Wexner.
And he went to jail. He went to jail for that. But
what's in the water in Ohio?
Here's Jim Jordan.
I also want to ask you about something a little closer to home. There is a colleague of yours in the Ohio delegation, Max Miller, who is facing allegations of abuse from an ex-wife of the wife and his then toddler daughter. Do you think that Max Miller, who denies this abuse, should he resign from Congress in light of the accusations?
Look, this is a family matter. I know Max is a good man. I was up campaigning for him. I hope he wins re-election. He's done a good job as a member of Congress, and we should all pray for his family. These are difficult times that they're going through. We understand.
Pause it
that.
for a second. You know what? Actually, when you throw scalding water on a person, even if they're in your family on purpose, or if you break your kid's collarbone, it's no longer just a family matter. Yeah. We actually call the police in.
And does Jim Jordan, I'm asking this hypothetically because I already know the answer, does he care that his female colleagues have to be around this person and work with him all the time when he's an open abuser of women?
Yeah, but he only abuses his family.
That's right.
Yeah, it's a family
you only
issue,
abuse the ones you love or the ones who are paid to represent them in a court of law, in which case you get a restraining order so that you don't go near the lawyer. Go ahead.
Situations always are. His re-election, he's done a good job as a member of Congress, and we should all pray for his family. These are difficult times that they're going through. We understand that. These kind of situations always are. But Max is a good member and a colleague, and hopefully he's going to win re-election. But ultimately, in the end, that's up to the voters in his district. But yeah, we were up helping Max just a few weeks ago at a campaign event up in his district in the northern part of our state.
So, I mean, it's just worth noting, I mean, the allegations include that Miller scalded his ex-wife's chest and stomach when he threw hot water at her, that he held a gun to her head, that he pushed her against a wall and hit her in the head, that he fractured their daughter's collarbone and bruised her shoulder, that his 2-year-old daughter reportedly told his ex-wife, quote, "Daddy,
Casey,
kill you." I want to play for you what you said when you were asked about Graham Plattner, who faced allegations of abuse. Let's watch what you told.
Yeah, I've not heard all this stuff.
Well, it was in the New York Times. It was in the New York Times. That's the list of allegations. It's been out
come on. I'm sorry.
I've not heard thing. You could hear all the stuff about the opposing parties' issues, but all of a sudden you can't hear anything. Just like you couldn't hear those kids on your gym team.
Trump tries this all the time.
What were you referring to when you said it's a family matter?
Yeah.
Right. Like, what were you referring to? You're familiar with stuff that didn't make the paper? Or what? Was there other things? Oh, I only read the part about where they disagreed about whether or not they should, she should, should buy these the expensive type of soy sauce, and they were arguing about stuff at the grocery store.
I heard she was vaccine injured.
Yeah, no, I only heard about the stuff where they would argue which movie are we going to watch tonight. I had no idea about all the stuff that made it to the newspapers. Go ahead.
Who faced allegations of abuse. Let's watch what you told.
Yeah, I've not heard all this stuff.
Well, it was in the New York Times. It was in the New York Times. That's the list of allegations. It's been out there for a while. I just want to show you what you told Newsmax when you saw that Graham Plattner was facing these accusations. Watch.
That's always been the case with Democrats. It's all about maintaining power. They will take any crazy position as long as it furthers their ability to win elections and get power, and frankly to go against anyone who goes against President Trump.
Why does that not apply here to Republicans who want to keep power in the seat?
Well, I don't know the context of the question I was asked about Mr. Plattner, but my guess is it was about all the ridiculous positions he's taken.
The banner there says Plattner's ex-girlfriend accuses him of abuse.
The Nazi tattoo and everything else. Yeah, well, I don't know. I didn't answer. I don't know that I answered that question. I think I was dealing with just who he was as a candidate and the crazy anti-Semitic, anti-Israel, pro-Nazi positions that he has taken. I think is evidenced by the fact that he had a Nazi tattoo on his chest.
All right, Congressman Jim Jordan, thanks for being
here. Give me a break.
Chicken shit.
Last refuge.
So he's like, I'm okay with abuse.
Yeah, it's not anything that was
I don't
about
care.
women.
I don't care if Democrats abuse or if Republicans do.
Max doesn't have a tattoo.
Yeah.
This is number 11.
What are you not getting, Casey?
There's no tattoo, but there is this brief. This is number 11. This is a court filing showing that Alex Miller's wife, Max Miller's wife, here it is. Plaintiff Max Miller's counsel, namely attorney Larry Zuckerman, stated during the July 28th hearing that plaintiff, quote, just can't control himself. Plaintiff has harassed, threatened, and communicated directly with my counsel as well as my previous counsel. Plaintiff physically touched my counsel without consent. After plaintiff placed his hands on attorney Andrew Zashin, I told plaintiff, get your hands off him. Unless restrained, plaintiff will continue to harass, threaten, and communicate with my counsel directly. And she signs that. That is the affidavit. And I think they got that restraining order. And here is what Bernie Moreno, this is...
The father-in-law of the woman.
No, the father.
I mean, sorry, the father. That's what I meant to say. The father of the woman. Yeah.
And I really appreciate this as a father. As a father,
yeah.
I have a daughter. If my daughter was getting physically abused by her husband, who was also a politician in my state, if my daughter was getting scalding hot water poured on her, if my grandkid's collarbone had been broken, if this guy's attorney said, like, he can't control himself, so much so that he then assaults the attorney. I mean, kudos to Bernie Moreno, because I would be just as upset as this guy is here. Let's watch this clip of Bernie Moreno.
When that story broke, I said to myself, I cannot stand idly on the side and watch this happen.
Oh, good.
It was about 6 years ago today.
What?
That I decided I'm going to give up my businesses, sell them all, run for office, run for the United States Senate. Here I am sitting in front of you 6 years later saying, who the fuck do you think you were for doing that? When that story broke.
Oh, I should say, I'm sorry. He was talking to Anthony Fauci, not to the guy who's been abusing his daughter.
And grandchild.
And grandchild.
Where are the fathers? Where are the fathers? I mean, the right. Where are they? They don't stand up for their children. They don't protect their families. Where are the fathers?
I mean, Bernie Moreno has had a tough time. People, I'm sure, remember the horrible prank one of his interns did, the classic intern prank. When you bring in, we have interns that come into the office. They do this to me all the time.
Yep. First thing we do is book them a plane ticket to go to your hometown where your
well, you don't
parent
need a plane
lives.
ticket. A lot of people drive to Worcester.
Okay,
and
wow.
I mean, now Marino was from parents are in West Palm Beach. And one of his interns, classic intern prank, which is always a great way to ingratiate yourself with the boss. This is also something you do. You go down to where his parents live so that it looks like he's visiting his parents, and do it coincidentally at a time he was.
Log into his account.
And set up.
Oh, sorry.
It's funnier that way.
A Grindr account there. And of course, if you're married, it's to a woman, it's a much better prank.
That's a great prank.
And then you set up this Grindr account and operate it from down in West Palm Beach when you're down there, coincidentally when your boss is there alone, right? Is that the Grindr noise? Yeah. And then what you do is, and this makes it even funnier, you wait a couple of years until he runs for office and hope that somebody else finds the Grindr account, and then I got you.
Those are the best pranks.
It's such a classic
that lay in
intern
waiting.
prank.
Exactly.
Man,
the waiting
oh,
is it's almost funny the entire time you're waiting.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is, I mean, it's just the best. And then, of course, as an intern, you're almost guaranteed to get a job after that.
Right.
You're even more capable of getting a job after that if you find the Grindr account and then go like, hey, I'm going to tell people about your Grindr account. You're married. And you're like, oh, you just got a promotion. There you go.
Do you think that it's interesting also that Bernie Moreno previously was a little bit more moderate on LGBTQ issues, but as he gained more prominence in the Republican Party, he became really anti-gay. And also, would that, I don't know, there's a lot of, we played George Santos, clip of him from 2023 calling Max Miller
a wife beater.
A wife beater.
So they've known.
They've known. That's the point. And if George Santos, a random Republican who just joined Congress, knows this dirt.
To be fair, he's a world-class gossip too.
I mean, and that's my favorite thing about him. But But if he knows, then the entire Republican caucus knows.
Of course.
And if the entire Republican caucus knows, the father-in-law has had to know the entire time, the father of his wife. And so this means that most likely Bernie Moreno has known this for quite a while, and because he's such a Republican sycophant, and maybe they have some stuff on him too, like they had on Bernie on Miller.
What could they possibly have on him?
Yeah, there's no smoke or anything.
He's a victim of the classic intern pranks of
Yes.
signing him up on Grindr. Hello,
Yeah,
like,
blaming
what
the
else?
victim,
What else
Emma.
could there be?
So point being is like this is the moral character of the family values Republican Party. Perhaps Bernie Moreno has known all along that this Republican in the House is abusing his daughter and his grandchild, but you gotta suck it up.
You know what? See, you are looking at it from a very negative perspective. I'm looking at a group of people who, okay, probably covering up the fact that there's a domestic abuser in their ranks, covering up the fact that Bernie Moreno is a victim of intern pranks, and yet. After just a little bit of kicking and screaming, they were able to vote in favor of, the Epstein files being released. Now, of course, they haven't followed up on it, these Republicans. But don't you see that, like, even though they're inclined to protect people, they're still willing to do a half-ass vote about the Epstein files?
I should have weighed that.
Right.
I should have been more
Always
fair.
looking on the negative side.
I'm just too emotional.
They've only know. You better be careful. Somebody's gonna pour hot, scalding water on you.
Okay.
I mean, Marino's out there, like, guys, what's the best plan for me to ignore this thing that's happening to my daughter and my grandchild, and to protect this? Swear it, Anthony Fauci. Of course.
I'm protecting all daughters.
Yes.
All daughters.
From the jab. What a tough guy. You know, that was like a trend, remember, in Trump 1.0 when the CNN anchors would want to sound tough and they'd say like fuck in the middle of their segment. God, it's such a pathetic way to pretend like you're doing something.
I feel like that's Sam. That's one of your biggest pet peeves in the world. Is when a politician brings out fuck.
Yeah, like I'm a renegade.
Sorry. What the damn is going on?
Oh, you did Schumer voice. We do have Schumer on the sound sheet.
Oh, do we?
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Senate Minority Leader.
Oh, damn it.
Have you been up to anything? Like, it's kind of a really important time in our history.
Oh,
We're living
yes.
through it
I've
right
been
now.
very, very busy talking about corruption and just about got the Democratic Party to align behind Israel.
Oh, good. Right.
Yes.
Well, I've seen some poll numbers that have kind of gone the other way.
Well,
actually.
the polls aren't, but the Democratic Party still is. So there it is. Here I am at the. Here I am at the.
Let's watch some game tape.
Home videos with
I'm on
Chuck Schumer.
C-SPAN.
Yeah.
Where is this?
I know you don't know where you were yesterday.
I don't know where I am.
I
at
get
the
was
time.
the
Combating corruption.
public citizen combating corruption sort of event.
Okay, I love Public Citizen. They do great work. I don't know if Chuck Schumer, the AIPAC plant, is the number. I'm sorry to speak so ill about you in front of your face, but
it's
like,
rude.
If anybody's listening to Public Citizen, this is a guy who supported genocide. It's disgusting to put him in front of a podium and not allow.
But is that
questions.
corruption?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that corruption? I don't think so.
The Baileys wouldn't say so.
I don't think so. The corruption was all on the part of Hamas.
Were you thinking this was like a Somali corruption event?
Corruption was all part of Hamas. Where they're taking all the money, they don't have all the bomb shelters to protect them from the bombs we're sending. Right?
So it's on them, I guess.
Right, it's on them. They're corrupt. Otherwise, they'd have bomb shelters to protect them from the bombs that we are paying for and giving to Israel to drop on them.
And the reporter here
So
is
let
Sam
me talk
Husseini.
about Sam Husseini. That's a suspicious name.
Yeah.
Fine with the Sam part.
Let's not sit down.
We should
You know what I love about this too is that it's like he's Schumer's pretending like all these people came to see like as if he's talking to an audience of civilians. They're all just reporters. They're asking a question. Everybody came here to ask the same question. Why is Hamas corrupt?
Trump has turned it into the single most profitable scam of his. Please sit down. Please sit down.
Genocide. What can be more corrupt than backing genocide? This is part of the same con with you and Trump playing off of each other. Oh, he's worse. Oh, he's worse. You were put on notice in November of 2023 by the Center for Constitutional Rights and other legal and human rights organizations. Notice on potential legal liability for aiding, abetting, inciting, or conspiring to commit genocide for congressional acts and demand. You were put on notice, and you backed it, and you backed the genocide to the hilt for years on end. How dare you talk about corruption? How dare you talk about corruption?
Thank you for your diatribe. Now, let's continue. Let's continue and let the people didn't come to hear you.
They came to hear me.
Your diabolical record. It's amazing that you can show your genocidal face in public.
Good for him.
Mr. Senator. Shame on public citizen for not allowing questions to this genocidal maniac. Shame, yeah. Corruption. What can be more corrupt than not allowing questions?
Sorry about that.
What are you sorry for, Chuck?
Yeah, that is awesome. I mean, Sam Husseini also was, when at Antony Blinken's press conference, he was physically removed for calling him out in the same way. So heroic.
We're talking about corruption.
Yeah.
We're not talking about corruption that's involved in all the arms sales that we're sending to Israel,
The
to
human
bomb
rights
the
processes,
people, or the
intertwining of
corruption
our
that's involved with the
militaries.
intertwining of the whatever the thing, and the doing Israel's bidding in terms of the Iran war.
Just about what Jared
and-
Kushner is doing
and listen,
domestically.
there's a difference between bombing people and being corrupt. And now I'm talking about corrupt. I can't do two things at one time. Chew gum and walk.
And you know what?
Somebody's going to get hurt. Someone's
So-
going to fracture a hip.
You're calling out Trump's corruption with like foreign governments paying him and influencing his foreign policy. I'd imagine you're focused on Qatar. You're focused on
I know
Russia.
where you're going, young lady.
You're still hip to it, I guess.
Do you think, honestly, that $40 million in your congressional campaign is going to influence the way you vote? I don't think so.
Sorry for being so
I
naive.
don't think so. I doubt it. I sincerely doubt it. Haley Stevens, for instance, goes to bed dreaming of Israel. If they didn't give her $1, she'd still do it.
Yeah.
It's just they happen to give her $30 million to be. I mean,
Say
come
thank
on.
you for dreaming about us.
Yes, coincidence. Have you ever gotten a thank you gift?
Yeah.
Okay.
$30 million
okay.
thank you.
Okay. Have you ever gotten a thank you gift? All right. Now, would you have not done whatever you did because you didn't think you were going to get a thank you gift? Of course not. That would be a mean thing to say. So.
And that is not Kentucky Fried French fries.
No, it is not.
No, it's not.
That is not a Kentucky Fried French fry.
I like how he said nobody came here to hear you too. Like he's a comic who's headlining. and
Hey, buddy.
sold the tickets.
The heckler won't
Hey,
shut
buddy,
up.
take a look around. Put up the screen. Take a look around. See how enwrapped the audience is with what I'm saying? Look at my stylings. Look at my stylings. They're not interested in you.
Look how packed this place is.
Look at their reaction. There's a reason why they're all so go down. Now you can see. Look at that. Look at
It looks
they are
like they
so,
kind of are there to hear him the way they pick up their cameras and phones and start filming when he starts
Yeah,
talking.
right.
Exactly. Okay.
This guy's the main event.
Well, they're trying to scare you off.
They look
by
engaged now, Chuck.
videotaping you with their phones. Yeah. Yeah, they're not here to hear you, Sam.
People like Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer.
Did you say Chuck Toomer?
I did.
Wish fulfillment.
They're toxic. They're toxic. They can't be the leader of a party that wants to be popular, and any sort of group that wants to fight corruption cannot be giving them speaking space. It doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
They're blown.
Love you guys, but yeah, public citizen, I don't agree with that.
This also might be Chuck's first or your first public appearance in, I'm not kidding, a month.
Right. That's where it's like, where have you been?
say this.
I'm just saying, he hasn't been here yet.
Hollywood Chuck.
The only reason why anybody listened to this is because of Sam Husseini. If he didn't stand up, then you wouldn't even know I did this.
That's true.
That's exactly right.
But here I am. We've rented this conference hall, and nobody cares.
Would you be proud to know that I momentarily considered asking AOC to put on those glasses?
Oh my God. Oh.
Because if she doesn't run for president, she challenges Chuck Schumer.
Just the idea.
She walks into his office.
I could have been in here.
It might have been a little
and
unprofessional.
questioned her as Chuck Schumer.
Wow.
We really
There's
missed
always a next time.
Sandy.
Sandy, hi.
Let's just
Well, look who's decided to walk into the lion's den.
I love Tough Chuck.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let's get ready to rumble. Hey, you're not the only
The
one.
heat is on them when they do this.
You are not the only one with social media, lady. Gonna do my Instagram video. Ask me anything on Instagram.
On Reddit.
Yeah, exactly. I am doing an AMA. Watch out.
Sam Husseini does not apply, though.
No questions about him. What are we doing? Fast? What number is that?
He always has great news.
Yeah, great news from Kevin Hassett. All those people. I was in the Lake Tahoe area recently doing a little work. And on the Nevada side of Lake Tahoe, I don't know if people knew this, but half of it is in Nevada, half of it's in, it's like a 22-mile by a 12-mile lake or something like that. Second deepest in the country, incidentally, at about 1,100 feet at its most deepest part.
It's very
Was
cool.
that the
And
work you were doing? A tour
clear
guide?
water.
I was doing.
I don't play about Lake Tahoe. It's gorgeous. It's like ridiculously pretty.
It's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to.
Try doing stand up there. It'll make it ugly real quick.
I got that sense too. But on the Nevada side, there are 50,000 people who, as of like a year from today, maybe less, have no electric company anymore. The entire electric company that served like 50,000 people is now going to be sending all of their electricity to a data center. I don't know how they're going to get electricity or what. The data center thing is something that is crossing, we've had activists on who have stopped them in various places around the country.
63% of Data for Progress had a poll. 63% of all Americans, a majority of independents and Democrats, support a moratorium.
And I was talking to one guy who had a theory that he's like, they don't need this for computation part. This is all surveillance. It is all just basically what data are they going to be putting in these places?
Yeah.
And what is the likelihood is like some of these data centers are just going to end up being rented out by the government or by other businesses to just like what data are they storing there?
Well, what's the number one state in the country right now for data center concentration and construction? And it's not close. It's Virginia. And that's why Spanberger is like supporting them. Former CIA herself, they are very closely associated with the national security state. Yeah.
There's a lot of different ways in which you can attack this. It is a issue that I think, Democrats need to get out ahead of. They obviously are not. I can't imagine why. My daughter works for Meta. Hey, what are you going to do? Let's,
Yeah.
I got the holidays coming up. I don't want to create a little, let's just talk about corruption, okay? And, but not the data center
Not the
corruption.
number one industry that's been corrupting this midterm cycle.
I don't mean corruption by people. I mean just in general.
Uncouthness.
Let's keep it abstract for 2026. That's my new slogan.
That's great.
Keep it abstract for 2026. But here's Kevin Hassett. Fortunately, the Republicans are also just as bought off, so they're not out in front of this either. Hopefully, we can get a new Democratic leadership that will encourage, because it is certainly working locally.
Yeah.
But if you look at all the Democratic establishment, like Janet Mills okays a data center in the middle of her campaign.
That didn't work out that great.
It did not work out well for her. I mean, I think there's a lesson to be learned here. Here's Kevin Hassett, one of Trump's chief economic advisors, obviously hasn't gotten the Fed position that he desperately wanted. Still smiling.
Wasn't that a central casting like Warsh?
Because it's local officials, local selectmen and mayors and so on that are negotiating these deals. And they've been negotiating the deals, pretty generously in the sense that they've been happening all over the place because the data centers are very good for towns because they create so many jobs, bring people in with high incomes that could buy houses and stuff like that. And so if you take a sleepy town that hasn't really seen much in the last 20, 30 years and put a data center there, then there are going to be a whole bunch of happy residents in that town.
Yeah.
But it's weird that all these residents don't have data center consciousness and think that these data centers are going to be bad. What's also fascinating is you're going to have wealthy people come in and buy the houses.
Great.
Wait. So
the housing stock in my small community will be bought up by richer people than me.
Love it.
Yes,
Thanks.
who are not from the community. And so you'll have housing problems. But how many jobs can a data center, once it's up and running, how many
They
jobs?
don't bring jobs. That's the other part.
This isn't even the way to sell it. If I was going to sell a data center, it would be, they in the construction, they actually have created a certain amount of good paying jobs, some of them even unionized in places like the South. I would probably emphasize that. Republicans obviously can't emphasize that.
Yeah.
But also, there would be tax benefits, to the country. It's not that wealthy people are going to move to your community, because they're not. They're not going to move to live by the data centers. That's why they're putting in the middle of nowhere.
But it creates good construction jobs, and then what though?
And then it's over.
Well,
Yeah.
a part of what's hard
You
to
gotta
get
mop up.
to get private prisons out of communities is because those they're underserved communities or whatever. This prison comes up and then it employs people. Even like an ICE camp, a detention facility would employ people but data centers are supposed to be able to run with very minimal human input.
The whole point of the industry is to get rid of jobs.
Exactly.
Yeah,
the whole
right, exactly.
point of
That's
the
what a
thing.
selling point. The main jobs that are
Exactly.
used, once the data center is constructed, the main job is security guards for people who want to
Destroy
break
it.
into it and destroy it because it's too fucking loud.
Yeah, what data center consciousness you said earlier, Sam. That's like the brain fog that you get from it being in your community and spewing all of those toxins.
Exactly.
in.
The videos are crazy of people just holding up a microphone and being like, "This is the sound I hear all day."
Yeah.
So rich people, they're not moving next to that.
Well, corruption. Abstract corruption. We've got to end it. It's all Donald Trump's fault.
This is 11.
This is the energy secretary.
11?
Or 17, sorry. I
yeah.
looked at the number 7.
Oh, yeah. Here is...
We're going back really far in time here.
Here's Chris Wright, Energy Secretary. What? This is pretty impressive.
It's looking pretty cool.
The huge jump in energy prices that we've had over the past like 2 years. You're going to be surprised as to what caused them.
You know, Mr. Secretary, a lot of Americans are skeptical of data centers. They've heard a lot of horror stories about various things. For the people who are watching right now who have concerns, what would you like to say to them?
Yeah, of course, there's a fear campaign going on right now. And why it's going on is the Democrats, since the election of President Obama, have spent 17 years pushing up electricity prices. Blue states have 50% higher electricity prices than red states. And now they figure they've got the perfect scapegoat. It wasn't our bad green policies. It was data centers that did it.
You know, Mr. Secretary, a lot of
17 years since 2010.
Tyranny. He's a natural in that hat too.
I mean,
There's
there
a thing
is
called charts and graphs.
There is a great opportunity here for Democrats.
Yeah.
And they cannot take it at this juncture because of how tied in they are into like crypto money, which incidentally, repurposing those data centers to generate some crypto stuff, probably not that difficult. Particularly if you're using all that energy, as it were, and all that cooling. I mean, you've got all the infrastructure. It's just sitting right out there.
Yeah.
People are so far ahead of the Democrats on this.
Here's a chart from The Economist.
Yes, there we go. I mean, even when you look also at consumption, it had been very little change. This is from the U.S. Energy Information Administration. There have been very little change, but then once data centers started cropping up again, U.S. electricity consumption rose, and it's way disproportionately commercial use. Residential use has basically flatlined.
Right.
Commercial and then industrial use is the reason, the changes in terms of U.S. electricity sales and what's increasing. And that means that the residential areas are still bearing the costs, even though they're not increasing the consumption.
What should we do here? We got time for just one more.
Do you want to cover Ron Johnson's claims about COVID?
Yeah, let's do this. The COVID thing is really fascinating to me because you'll recall that the first year of COVID was, and our policy was totally a function of the Trump administration. There is increasingly people are concerned around the idea of it being a lab leak. It's possible. I think the preponderance of the opinion in the scientific world is that it was not, but we may get more information down the road. I definitely am in favor of having oversight of what people are doing with, dangerous experiments. We actually had a system to oversee Wuhan that was, as soon as Trump got into office, he cut, not unlike what we've seen with the CDC and all, the salmonella in the eggs, the recall of produce, the trying to establish where the explosive diarrhea bacteria is coming from, all of that. But there is a very strange, and part of it, I remember trying to read about the 1917, the Spanish flu, and not much was written about it. Like, there's a weird relationship, I think, that people have to something like this. And there's this vacuum that has been left. and the Biden administration, in many respects, deserves some of this blame. They just wanted to get past it.
Yeah.
Instead of like recognizing that, A, COVID is still around. There are people who we have seen like serious health implications, I think, across like populations as a function of COVID. That I think we don't really fully, not even fully, I don't think that we have a sense of what the implications have been in terms of like just general health. And it's like an open field for just absolutely bat crap crazy theories about COVID, about Fauci. I don't, care too strongly about Fauci one way or another. About Trump's mishandling of this. Even the stuff with the schools.
Yeah.
We as a society decided we're not going to pay to keep teachers safe. Children were the biggest vector of COVID. And we made a decision as a society that we can't spend the whatever it is, $10 billion, $1 billion. I don't know how much it was, a fraction of what we spent in Iran, attacking Iran, to make schools safe. Let's put in ventilation systems that will protect teachers and kids for that matter. We didn't do it. And instead of reckoning with that decision as a society, we come up with all sorts of other crazy theories. Here's the stupidest man in the Senate. By the World Health Organization reckoning, which just 7.1 million people died of COVID. Could be more. Here is Tommy Tuberville just being a lunatic.
Happened. I was on the health committee when the COVID first hit. We went through probably every other week, maybe sometimes every month. We had a hearing with Dr. Fauci. We all asked him questions. He lied to us, and he knew he was lying to us because we found out all the information now since then. A lot of it even in his diary, Liz, but the problem is he hurt trust in this country. He put this country in a tailspin. He almost bankrupted our country with what they did. Between Obama and Biden, this guy gets Weasel of the Year award. I mean, he will eventually end up either broke or in prison because I'll tell you what's going to happen. I'm eventually going to be the governor of Alabama. And we had the most of anybody per capita of dying in this country. And we're going to sue the heck out of this guy. He's going to court every day of his life for the rest of his life. And he's going to have to look these people in the face, these families, because the pardon does not cover state government. And we're going to go after him with everything we've got because the guy killed or had something to do with killing 9 million people.
Yeah, we can't prove that, right? But that's yet to be determined, how many people are due to that.
We can determine it. No, we can determine it because he was in on the gain of function. He was
You're
the guy
saying
that
you can
funded
determine
this.
it. We understand that, yes. We understand that you want to move to do that. I want to get to the lawsuit point that you made.
Okay, so that's funny because the only time Fox News will issue a correction is when there's the threat of litigation.
Right.
And when you can talk about voter fraud broadly, but do not put Dominion in there or any specific voting machine company or whatever. That's the lesson they learned. We can spread as much conspiracism as possible, but Fauci may sue us for not correcting this guy claiming that he killed 9 million people on air, so...
Well, he had something to do with it.
Adolf Fauci.
21,000 people died in Alabama from the COVID virus. That's about that's more than the entire country of Paraguay, who has a couple more million more people.
Yeah.
And this idea that it was the gain of function, this is where the lab leak stuff is entirely horseshit, regardless of where the agnosticism about where exactly the virus came from. Republicans use it to say that this was a conscious attack by the Chinese government on the American people to cost Trump the election.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying here too. And it's all a way for them to avoid the actual deaths that were caused even before the vaccine was around by us not protecting Americans. America's death rate from this virus was higher than most countries that we consider even like part of the global South, because we have a atrocious healthcare system here.
And I can't fact check what he's saying about Alabama and their death toll, but yeah, this is part of the problem with southern red states having no public health or infrastructure. And
Alabama issued their stay-at-home orders relatively late.
No.
And then rescinded it very shortly afterwards.
Wait, they did that? I thought Biden was the guy that implemented all of the stay-at-home lockdowns.
Alabama had more COVID deaths than Taiwan. That's the real scandal.
There's no
here.
infrastructure. Exactly. Like, how did Fauci make Alabama have more COVID deaths? Like, just the idea that you could say that there was a variant between states indicates that there was obviously no federal mandate. It's stupid. And it's important. Like, look, obviously, I don't know how to interpret Fauci's, the diaries and when they're talking about, and, he's bragging about how famous he's getting and whatnot. But we also have to understand that we have seen for years scientists attacked, starting with the WikiLeaks leaks of the emails back and forth with Michael Mann and some of the climate scientists. Scientists are, and particularly then, maybe a little bit less so now. Now they've become more savvy and they understand that they're going to have to sell things to the society in a way that they didn't have to before, because people just took for granted. I'm a scientist. I'm not a communications person. Yeah. And the fear, I think, that scientists had in the wake of all that climate gate or whatever it was, which was a completely trumped up thing, but they are protecting themselves. So I don't know if it was a gain of function thing or just a way of like, we don't want to get caught up in this controversy. We can't put out information because we have too much proof that scientists are not well trained at this and cannot go into the propaganda wars and win because they're fighting like just propagandists. So I don't know, but regardless of whether it was a lab leak or, came from a wet market, our response outside of like clamping down on some type of like grants and needing more government oversight of some science, but the response to the emergency, both the pandemic and the endemic, have nothing to do with that question. Yeah. And in lieu of addressing the failure of society to take care of its own people in that situation, people defer to like, let's have a conversation about its origins. I'm not saying that we shouldn't, but what's really more important is, why did we fail to protect our people?
Right.
All right. That's it for us today. Folks, we'll be back on Monday. Of course, I'm going to be off doing another a gig for another 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay, gotcha.
But these guys will be back Monday.
Can't wait.
No, I'll be here.
Sounds in the new Dragon HBO show.
What is it?
House of the Dragon.
That would be fun.
You're playing
You said you're going to be in Spider-Man.
You're playing a coastal professorial type.
In the medieval dragon world.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, see you on Monday.
You didn't hear me.
What was it?
I said you're playing a
still
coastal
on, by the way.
It might take all the strength I got to get to where I want, but I know somehow I'm gonna get there. I wasn't looking when I just got caught between the truth and the lie fall. But finding out won't make me feel any better. Yeah, I know the clock is ticking, but the meds are gonna kick in, and my pilot light shining bright. I guess somewhere the choice was made for the option where you don't get paid, for the road that bends before it finally breaks you. I guess somehow I lost me